Well, I'm going to sing you a song right now that truly changed my life a few years ago. I was coming back from North Carolina, singing down here, and was thinking about Jesus' earthly ministry and how he spent so much time in small towns. And I love that. I'm a small town guy, so I appreciate that. And I figure small towns were not that much different then than they are now. You'd run into the same people all the time. How could you not? It's the way small towns work. And he spent a lot of time there. And I would imagine even back in those days, you'd see somebody cross the road, you knew who they were. Maybe you'd throw your hand up, or maybe you recognized somebody because of how they were. Maybe you knew that, well, over there, that's where the beggar always sits. And he's there every day, and you walk by to the point that you don't see him anymore. And then Jesus comes to town and starts healing people. And don't you know, pandemonium set in. People that you had seen a certain way your whole life were now forever changed. And I can imagine just what the chaos that ensued because of that. And I was thinking, you know what, if I've been unable to walk my whole life, and all of a sudden my legs work as good as anybody's, first thing I'd do is see how fast them things could run. And that's about as far as I got. And this song, I mean, it literally failed in about 30 minutes. And I finished it and never changed a word of it. Got back to Nashville and did a little demo of the song, which I always did. But somehow a few weeks later, the song ended up in the hands of Bill Gaither and his record company. And they called me and they said, man, we've got this group that's been looking for a special kind of song. And they've heard this song of yours, and they've been singing it a cappella at their concerts because they don't have any music for it. And they say every time they sing it, the Spirit falls like they have never seen. And man, they just believe this is supposed to be their song. And they'd love to record it if that'd be all right with you. So that'd be all right with me. And so they recorded it, they put it out. And in the years since this song's been out, this song has truly been around the world. I've heard it in different musical styles. I've heard it in different languages. It won every award it could possibly win. A few months ago, I was on YouTube and I heard it being sung by a youth choir from South Africa. And it was great. I mean, I could tell from the way they were forming the words that English was probably not their first language. And I know hillbilly English was not their first language. But man, they were singing it pouring out of their heart, and it just blessed me to the bone. And I appreciate those little opportunities so much. But the one thing that the song, it's given me so much, but one of the things that I'll never get over are the stories that go with this song. Almost never does a weekend go out that I don't sing this song and somebody will have a story somehow connected to this song. Sometimes it's little small ways. Sometimes it's things like, you know, we sing that song in my church, or I sing it for special sometimes, and I appreciate that, you know. Sometimes it's a little more personal. It's things like, you know, we played that song at my daddy's funeral because that was his favorite song. And I appreciate that. I really do. But every now and then I'll get stories that are just too much, that I just don't know what to do with. There was a little lady that caught me one day. I was walking out leaving, and she caught me by the sleeve right at the door, and she said, honey, I just had to catch you before you left. I wanted to let you know that song of yours is, well, that's what got me through chemo. And I what do you say to that? And I just hugged her and cried with her, you know. But one of the ones that I guess has impacted me the most, probably the story I've certainly told the most. A lady told me one time, she said, I want to tell you a story. She said, I was married for 40 years to the meanest man that ever lived. She said he didn't want any part of the Lord. He didn't want any part of church. And every Sunday morning, he would make fun of me while I was getting ready to go to church. She said, but one day, we happened to be at home flipping television channels, and the Gaither show happened to be on, and we just left it there and got to listening to the music, and well, that song of yours came on, and he got to listening. And she said it got to the second verse, and that's when he broke. And she said he started weeping, and she had never seen him cry. And she said that was the day his life turned around. And he ended up, I love this, he ended up spending the next 2 years of his life which was all the life he had left here, sitting with her and serving God in the same little church he made fun of her for going to. I will never get over those stories. And I am so thankful that God allowed me to be part of the pipeline for this song. But the thing that I guess I carry with me the most is what I have learned is the power of your story. The power of your story. I love the fact that God in his infinite wisdom made us all so unique. You know, even if you're an identical twin, you know, you're different. You're a God original. And he placed in each of us different gifts and talents and skills and abilities and a personality that's unlike anybody else. And because of that, people are drawn to you that are not drawn to others. People cross your path that might not cross mine, that sort of thing. That's how it all's supposed to work. And so what I encourage you more than anything else is whatever it is that makes you, you, share Jesus through it. Share Jesus through it. You know, yeah, it's important. It is that folks know things like how God changed Saul to Paul. It's important that they know how Jesus restored Peter. But you know, first, they want to know how God changed you. They want to know how Jesus restored you. Because they know you, and they see you, and they'll think, you know what, if God can do a work in their life, well, maybe he can do a work in mine too. And that's how lives are really changed. So that's my encouragement to you today, that whatever it is that makes you who you are, share Jesus through it. You'll never have a more powerful tool in your belt as far as ministry goes, beyond what he has done in your own personal life. So I'm going to sing you this song. If you listen to Southern gospel music, you probably no doubt heard the Booth Brothers sing this thing, and I sure don't sound like them. But this is pretty close to what it sounded like that very first night coming back from your home state here when this song was born. I was working in town one afternoon, attending some business affairs. I heard a commotion a couple streets over. I wondered what's happening there. A young man was running from in that direction. He stopped just to catch his breath. Oh, I asked him to please tell me what was the hurry. Oh, he smiled up at me and he said, I was trying to catch the crippled man. Did he run past this way? He was rushing home to tell everyone what Jesus did today. And the mute man was telling myself and the deaf girl he's leaving to answer God's call. Oh, it's hard to believe, but if you don't trust me, ask the blind man, he saw it all. Ask the blind man, he saw it all. Here's the good part right here. My friend, if the troubles and burdens you carry your head and dragging you down, you have tried everything you can possibly think of, and there's no relief to be found. Friend, that very same Jesus that altered the future of a blind man, the deaf, and the lame, oh, he is still reaching out in your hour of trouble. One touch and you're never the same. You'll be trying to catch the crippled man. Did he run past this way? He was rushing home to tell everyone what Jesus did today. And the mute man was telling myself and the deaf girl he's leaving to answer God's call. Oh, it's hard to believe, but if you don't trust me, ask the blind man, he saw it all. Ask the blind man, he saw it all. He saw it all. Amen.